Good morning, July 7th, coming off real hot off an amazing Independence Day weekend. It's Monday, July 7th. It's the Automotive State of the Union. I'm Paul J. Daly. It's Kyle Mountsier, and we're about to find out who saw the most fireworks.
Man,
How do we
quantify? I saw fireworks.
Yep.
We had.
Is it quantity? Is it size?
Is it? Yeah. What is it?
Volume?
Yeah. Like, did you go to a big single show or lots of mini shows?
Yeah.
I don't know. Our neighborhood, it's like you look this way, this way, this way, this way, and this way, and you just get a smattering of
Pop
it.
and sizzle. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just all over the place. But the most fun fireworks that I got to go to this weekend, you know, I'm a big soccer fan. I got to take my two older kids to the Nashville SC game.
That's the best one then.
Probably one of the most electric games that I've ever seen in that stadium. The crowd was insane. It was we had only our last home game was at the end of May, so it was like packed. And we scored. There was like, because you have like water breaks in these hot summer days, and there was a lot of crazy like fouls and injuries and stuff. There was actually 8 minutes of extra time, and then because we got a penalty kick, it was 90th plus 11 minute. We scored a penalty kick to win the game. So it was like one of the last kicks of the match. The whole place is going bananas, and then there's fireworks.
And then fireworks.
It was nuts.
Okay, yeah. So that's pretty amazing.
Fireworks on fireworks. One of the best. You know,
we didn't go anywhere to see fireworks. We were at my mother-in-law has this little cottage right on this beautiful lake up here in upstate New York, one of the Finger Lakes, and I'll tell you what, they were having around this lake on 4th of July. They have some kind of competition because just like it's a really big lake too. You just see fireworks, like, you know, like there's the one guy who like, dude just spent 10 grand. And then there's like that they just got their kids sparklers, right? And everything in between. Right. Yeah. So it's funny. You see one guy launching off these big boomers, and then like, you know, somebody's just holding a Roman candle, like boom, boom. It was a lot of fun though. It just felt very festive in general.
That's a great weekend. We hope you all,
it is. Hope you all had an amazing time. Hope you did some really great things over the weekend, right? Big holiday sales weekend where maybe you still had the 4th off, but then you could come back and still crush it over the weekend. So great weekend for the auto.
I've heard a few reports of sales going really well to start July. So let's go.
Heard that too. This week we have an ASOTU Edge webinar on Wednesday, 2 days from now. We're going to be talking about smart customer transportation with our friend Steven Chapman from Uber for Business. So you can register for this by going to asotu.com. Just scroll down, or maybe not even scroll down. It's probably right there, top of the fold. Get the recording or be there live. Going to talk about how to move things in and out of your business without spending a single dollar in infrastructure investment. How's that sound?
Whoa.
Happy.
Come on.
Happy. Maybe that should be the headline.
Take it.
Should that be the headline of the show? I don't know. All right, let's talk about the news. I mean, I don't know what's more America to talk about than starting a new political party. Elon Musk's creation of the America political party is fueling investor anxiety as Tesla faces a pivotal year marked by declining sales, shifting strategy, and mounting public scrutiny. Basically, as if you just think he couldn't outdo himself, he aims to influence key House and Senate races in 2026 by forming a new political party after his dissatisfaction with the big, beautiful bill, and he and Donald Trump, their lovers quarrel. But analysts are fearing this could distract from Tesla's core business and turnaround plans. I think everybody was just excited they were getting Elon back, and now they're like, oh no, it's worse than we thought. Tesla's global sales fell 13% in Q2. Shares are down 20% year over year. Consumer surveys show Tesla's brand perception is continuing to erode in the U.S., ranking last now among 19 EV makers in a May survey.
That's interesting.
Azoria Partners delayed its Tesla ETF launch over the weekend, citing conflict with Musk's CEO responsibilities. Here is Azoria's CEO, James Fishbeck, says, I encourage the board to evaluate whether Musk's ambitions are compatible with his full-time obligations.
Look, I can't speak to the party, but what I can speak to is the fact that last year we already saw the Model Y take second seat after having the first seat in the global sales to the Toyota RAV4. So you see that. Then you just see the declining perception. As a board, as Tesla, as an automaker, you got to start to make some decisions on whether or not that's a leadership capacity. Maybe he moves to something like a chairman of the board, brings in a new CEO, someone to run the day-to-day operations of the business, because they're also failing from a global perspective to BYD as they're advancing sales across the globe. So as an EV automaker specifically, this has to be concerning. You already saw kind of dips around the Twitter X deal. You've got Grok out there, SpaceX. How many things can this man actually do with like real legitimacy over time at the size and capacity that it is? We'll see.
Well, what this spells out, with the good old capitalism hat on, is like Tesla's having a hard time, white space in the market, right? You've seen now very clearly that the giant can bleed, and now it really does open up those spaces for new number 1, 2, and 3, perhaps. So,
speaking of the giant bleeding,
segue, good one. A new report by Alex Partners projects that only 15 out of 129 EV brands and plug-in hybrids in China will survive through 2030. We haven't said 2030 in a while on this show. As fierce competition over capacity are pushing the market towards consolidation, the surviving 15 brands are expected to control 75% of the market, each selling over 1 million units annually. Most Chinese EV makers remain unprofitable with their current market driving innovation and unsustainable pricing models. Only BYD and Li Auto have achieved full-year profitability. That's 2 out of 129. Wow. Despite low profitability, regional governments are continuing to support struggling brands to protect their local economies. Here, Stephen Dyer of Alex Partners says the environment has driven remarkable advances, but it has also left many companies struggling. Meanwhile, in Japan, Sony Honda Mobility's operating loss more than doubled year over year to $362 million as it pushes to launch its Afeela EV later this year. So that's tough. That is a tough business to be in, my friend.
That's a tough business to be in. I will relate this. I just did a quick search because I've heard this data before. By 1908 in the U.S., there are 253 auto manufacturers. That's in the U.S. Remember when we like everything was auto here in the U.S. first.
That's right.
In 1921, there were 88. In 1927, there were 44. We know that the global EV transition is a lot heavier pace than anywhere else, but this is not unseen when you see a whole new market segment come into a country that is flooded with people. Like everything's going to try, and there's going to be a lot fail, and there's going to be a lot left over. It might be a little bit heftier of a final result there, maybe in the 20s to 30s. But, this is something that you see anytime this kind of cycle repeats itself. But man, I can't imagine being one of those 100 and so that may be left holding the bag over the next, that's only 5 years away.
I know. Todd Gilbreth chimes in on the comments. Nothing against Elon, but I just purchased a Lucid Air Touring. Love it. Yes, I can't believe I went EV after being against it for so many years.
Look, I told you. In that
I told Air, you. I'm sure I've never been in the Lucid Air, but I'm just EV platform overall. I towed the pontoon boat with the F-150 Lightning over the weekend.
Breeze.
Oh my gosh, man. I never want to pull anything with a gas-powered vehicle again.
Really?
Dude, it was unbelievable.
All the torque that you need to get off.
Full control of that vehicle, and it's also more maneuverable. It was amazing. Truly amazing.
Interesting.
I know it. I mean, granted, my range cut in half. Right? So fortunately,
it was
fortunately, we only had to go 11 miles. Yeah, when it was range 283, I put in because you can load up the trailer specs and the weight and all that. It's adjusted range. You know what I mean? 93 miles.
Oh,
something like that. I don't know. It was intense. I'm sure that'll adjust and change, but I want a good segue to this last story.
There's no good segue except for this is a good story.
This is a good story. This is a great story, actually. I love it. I mean, it's auto related, not retail auto industry, but close enough. We usually cover retail things.
We just know that auto all rolls this way. Daryl Thomas, a beloved Detroit car wash owner and NHRA licensed drag racer, was known for his generosity. So at his funeral, his family honored that legacy in dramatic fashion, showering the community with rose petals mixed with $5,000 in cash from a helicopter during a public celebration of life. The tribute shut down a stretch of Gracio Avenue in front of Showroom Shine Express one of his car washes. The family says they informed police, though DPD claims they weren't told about the money drop. So it got a little spicy. They're like, why are you dropping money everywhere?
We're gonna drop some stuff out of there.
Here's what's crazy. The FAA is launching an investigation into the thing. No action expected, obviously, from local authorities.
They have to do it. Yeah.
This was a final expression of love from him to the community because he was a giver, said his niece, Crystal Perry. This is just fun.
This is the kind of, when I read this story, I was like,
show the video. Here we go. Look at this. You just got money and rose petals. The sound.
Hold on. Sounds like mayhem.
So good.
I want to see what it looks like. Yeah, so you have a helicopter. It's probably like, it's probably like 100 feet, 150 feet in the air.
It's not too high. Yeah.
It's not too high, but there are just people around this car wash. What a beautiful moment. I love the way to honor somebody. Obviously, he was a generous person, and his family was like, how do we go out in big fashion? I can actually see a lot of car dealers we know pulling off a stunt like this.
Just because.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of do it. Well, if you actually look at the books and you look at the numbers, you realize retail auto dealers are doing this kind of every day, just not from a helicopter.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Well, actually, a lot more than this every day.
A lot more than this. If you don't listen to our Saturday podcast, you should definitely start to take a look. Last week we did it on July 4th. But we get to hang out with Chris, our head writer, who scours the internet every single week to see what dealers are doing all across the country. And it's really, what's crazy? 3.5 years ago, when we started really diving into these dealer stories at the end of every email or somewhere in the email, it was almost difficult to find the stories. The stories are far and wide. They're everywhere now. People are talking about it. It is something that is being ingrained into culture. And so what we're seeing here is replicated in auto so many places.
Sounds like a great way to start a week, doesn't it?
Let's go.
Full weekend July coming up. People are out buying. You're out there to serve. Go get some and listen. Amazing week. Let's do it. Just starting out. We'll see you here tomorrow morning.